everybody. Well, last week we were building snowmen with kids, and this week I feel like going for a swim. And guess what? I finally got evening grosbeaks to come and visit my bird feeders. So exciting. If you have bird houses, it's basically recommended to wash them, clean them twice a year, before the nesting season and after the nesting season. Well, I have 4 bird houses that were actively used during the summer, so it's time to clean them and prepare them for the winter for all our resident birds to use for roosting during the winter months. This is also the time where I inspect my bird houses to make sure that they're all still intact. Like this one needs to be hammered in a little bit. And when it comes to washing, it is recommended to scrub them down with a bleach solution, the same as for bird feeders. It's 1 part bleach and 10 parts water. Then give them a rinse and leave them open in the sun so they can dry out completely. When they're dry, you can close them. You can add a little bit of dry grass or pine shavings, but you don't have to. So that's it, I'm ready. And of course, always wear gloves when dealing with dirty bird houses or dirty bird feeders. There you go, 1 is ready, 3 more to go. Christopher Stonebanks from our area here has had a domesticated raven come visit them on a regular basis. It knocks on their windows in the morning asking for food, and it's become friends with his daughter and his pets. So Christopher is trying to figure out what to do next.
Hi Christopher. You've posed a very intriguing question about the young domesticated common raven that was brought to your house, that gets along well with your 2 dogs and 3 cats, and has now become a regular playmate for your 15-year-old daughter. Right off the get-go, I must admit to being totally envious. In my opinion, common ravens are the smartest birds on the planet, and having a relationship with such an intelligent bird would be cool. I suppose that as long as the bird's not being aggressive in any manner and not bothering your neighbors, everything should be fine. There's not really much you can do about it in any case. Capturing it and sticking it in a cage for the rest of its life might be cruel, at least in my opinion. On the other hand, there are folks in the Montreal area that could perhaps do it justice and make the bird useful to society as a whole. That would be the Eco Museum in St. Anne de Bellevue. They had a pair of captive, unreleasable ravens which actually talked to one another and eventually raised young. Ravens love eating carrion, so put out any kind of meat, beef scraps from a butcher, roadkills, etc. that doesn't attract unwanted critters would be helpful. You could always opt not to feed it, but my fear would be that it might go to some other person's house who might be less kind to it.
Over the summer, we had a few people ask us about organic fertilizers and birds. Dr. David Bird did a little bit of research, and here's his answer.
Hi Benjamin. You asked me if it was safe to use organic fertilizer, specifically 5-3-3, on the plants and bushes near your bird feeders in your yard. After doing a little research, I could find no specific scientific studies on the impact of organic fertilizers on backyard birds. I even contacted my friends at the Cornell Laboratory of Ornithology to find out if the lab had any advice for folks wanting to use such fertilizers in their yards near their feeders. Other than a study citing the deaths of silver gulls from ingesting urea as a fertilizer after an accidental spill in Australia, there does not seem to be much out there in the literature on the subject. Moreover, a huge review of the impact of modern agriculture on birds did not single out any issues with fertilizers for them. Based on the list of materials that 5-3-3 was derived from, as read out in the package, including feather meal, poultry manure, bone meal, and others, I didn't see anything that set off warning bells as being bad for birds. Also, to my knowledge, backyard birds in general don't really ingest fertilizer as a food item. So all in all, I think you're pretty safe in using 5-3-3 fertilizer on your plants in your yard. As an added comfort, one of my bird-loving friends at the Cornell Lab regularly uses 5-3-3 Miracle Growth fertilizer in his garden.
A study conducted on zebra finches and Bengalese finches, which are related to each other but look so different, shows us that brightly colored birds and dull colored birds perceive colors differently. Both groups of finches were given 2 sets of chips. One set was bicolored, sort of orange and red, and the other set was just one solid color but ranging in different shades of orange. So zebra finches recognize the bicolored chips, but the Bengalese finches only recognize the solid colors. One of the theories is that female zebra finches pick their mates depending on how bright his beak is. The brighter, the healthier he is. Whereas Bengalese finches pick their mates depending on how elaborate and complex his song is. But, of course, more studies need to be conducted. In March, when most of the world went into lockdown, the principal of Yardley Primary School in England, Chris Evans, noticed a peacock on the school's rooftop. With all the kids at home, the peacock decided to make the schoolyard its home. Chris took pictures of the bird, posted them on social media, went to the local wildlife center, but no one claimed the bird, so he named him Kevin. 7 months later, all the kids are back, but the bird is still there. The school has actually taken the bird under its wing, building him a pen, giving him food and shelter, and actually looking for a mate for Kevin. All of this is of course possible with the help of wildlife experts, and next year's school uniforms will have an embroidery of Kevin because now he is the official school mascot. Every year, New Zealand has a contest to choose its bird of the year. The whole world is actually invited to pick one of those birds. So here's the link. You're allowed to pick 5 birds. Have fun. Well, BirdLife International is taking on a new cause. They're calling on the EU government to ban all lead ammunition. An estimated 1 million birds are killed in wetlands and marshes across Europe as a result of the secondary lead poisoning from birdshot that lands in the water. As we know, a number of US states have banned lead ammunition. California is one of them, and that's actually contributed to the comeback of the California condor. So let's hope that BirdLife International is as successful with this campaign as they were with the banning of the nocturnal olive harvesting in Portugal and Spain. Well, it's time to say goodbye and to go and enjoy this beautiful weather. Our photo contest, Birds and Precipitation, is still open. Please don't forget to write the name of the birds. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in 2 weeks.